Want to do that job.
Is a little bit more stricter on women, so like they can't really like do what they want to as far as going outside and like having fun and stuff
and weigh less than 200 pounds. Now that Ryan Dawson told me that the average American black female weighs 186 pounds, I was walking around and I just can't unsee it. The average American woman weighs 170 pounds, and she's going to talk about not being able to do the same shit. At least they weigh a reasonable weight. I'm 170. I'm 6'2". I'm top 3% height, but I'm the same weight as the average American woman. Something needs to change, bro.
the coaches as much as they can in America.
Do you think those women are ignorant slaves or are they happy?
I think they're doing what they need to do to get by. I think they're doing what they think they're supposed to.
Oh no, they're not ignorant slaves. I believe most of them are happy and stuff. My grandma's a traditional woman and she's very happy, so.
They treat their men very well. They actually worship their men. I see a lot of standing behind their men, waiting for their men. Even just the other day, I saw this lady.
Women are happy being submissive. We need to stop selling women this lie. When they get to 35, they're going to get a bunch of cats and they're going to become resentful, go on antidepressants. They're not going to see why they're upset because feminism is brainwashed so hard into these women's brains. They're not going to realize it, but that's the reason they're upset. They want kids.
Get out of her Uber, leaving her husband in a car and just walked away. I wouldn't see that in a Eastern country or a more egalitarian country.
I think it's because they want to. The only reason why I'm gonna say that is because of the way they're brought up. They're told differently to, like, you know, actually do certain things for their men, and it just comes second nature.
Because they want to. Like, nobody out there like force girls. They're free. Like the girls like choose to do it.
Nobody's forcing no one.
Countries that aren't necessarily third world don't have as many doesn't have as much infrastructure or as many opportunities or as many options. So it kind of forces the woman and the people there to kind of follow structures that are a little bit more traditional and
Right, like we know this shit by now. If you've been watching me for a while, chat, we're gonna keep watching this video. Like I like to hear people's takes and stuff like that about this, but we know this. We're getting to the point where the West is crumbling in real time. Like once you see what's happening, the people who actually have proper analytical skills and see this, bro, the West is crumbling in real time. So a lot of people who talk about red pill, they will stick to subjects like feminism. Daily Wire will just talk about trans people, simple shit, because that's how they keep a platform. Like you'll make a lot more money, you'll have longevity. And sometimes I get oh fuck, L-stream. I'll get criticized. You can still hear me for talking about like I'll get criticized for looking at memes and stuff. But then I'm gonna have they join the freaking Frogs game. I'm gonna have them on stream next week. I'll have Dawson. I'll have talk to Fuentes. I'll talk to people who really try to figure out what's going on. Talk about the world issues at large. Who's really behind all of this? And then that puts you in a scrutinized spot where then you've seen it on the stream. They'll label you a crazy conspiracy theorist, a misogynist, a racist, all this stuff. People don't want to associate with you. People don't want to talk to you. When you really get down to what's going on, you get scrutinized more than most people can even comprehend without seeing it and just labeling you something like a misogynist, racist, anti-Semite. At this point, we know this. Feminism is brainwashing. Biology is real. We have innate needs, men and women. We are different genetically. It's not all a social construct. We know this stuff. But when it comes to the red pill, it's bigger. Bro, trans people and feminism, okay, duh. Trans people are fucking delusional. Feminism is a psyop. We know this. What's really going on? I get confused at why people can just talk about one issue and not try to go down the rabbit hole and see who fed us all of these ideas. Right?
A little bit more natural to them.
Do you think those women are ignorant slaves or are they happy?
They're happy. Happiness is when you can have a family and you can grow something from scratch, from nothing.
Why do you think so many men are traveling overseas to find wives in other countries?
Men are traveling overseas to find wives in other countries? Why? I'm right here. I'm single. Why? I want to be married.
No, but okay, you're not gonna find it yelling on the street. This woman here is going, like, no offense, you're not gonna find the man that you want to be with. Like the lifestyle that you're living, it's not gonna happen.
Right, but I'm saying, do you typically see women traveling overseas to find husbands?
If men are traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education, it's because they want a woman who is dependent on them.
And they'll shame you for that. Women like this, the modern feminists, will shame men for having standards and having preferences when it comes to getting married. Maybe I just don't want to marry you. Maybe I'm not a bad person. I'm not problematic and toxic for not wanting to be with you. You hit the wall. You've been a girl boss. You ran up your body count. I don't want to get married to that. You think you're equal. You are delusional. Getting married to you is setting myself up for failure. Don't demonize me because you fucked up.
For their livelihood, for their resources, to have a good life. And I don't think that that is a good thing.
You don't think it's a good thing that men have standards?
A lot of the men I know that go overseas to find wives are not great dudes.
Yeah, okay. Do you see what I'm talking about? But this is why, like, when you see this, there are a lot of men who become red-pilled and just want to leave the West because they're like, it's hopeless because these women make no sense. And instead of the women trying to adjust, they're so deeply brainwashed that they get angry at the men who don't want to be with them and then still call us incels.
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, they're pervy.
What are your thoughts on 90 Day Fiance or Passport Bros?
The passport bros make sense. I can see why men are incentivized to look elsewhere for more traditional qualities in women. 90 Day Fiance, though, I think they have a bad record of matching terrible people together.
Ooh, I'm all for passport bros. If you want to go somewhere where they're going to love, respect you, cherish you, cook and clean, and they understand their roles, you should go somewhere where you're loved. Because women in today's society, especially modern day women, not all women, it's just you guys forgot your roles. You're supposed to cook, you're supposed to clean, you're supposed to love your partner and take care of his heart and soul, just like men take care of us physically, mentally, and they provide for us. They never forgot their role. So, men, if you want to be a passport bro, I support it 100%. Have fun.
When it comes to exotic women, what cultures do you prefer and why?
Hispanics, I guess, I like better.
Is your preference based more on looks or behavior?
Right now, I think looks, like we're young, so yeah. The only thing we think about it, like, you know, have fun.
I'm Jamaican, so I would naturally prefer my own culture. Why? Because there isn't much of a cultural barrier to, or a language barrier to go over. But also, there's a stereotype that Asian women are a little bit more traditional, a little bit more feminine. So I'm got my eyes on them as well.
When the woman and the man have a date, the man is buy everything. And in the American, we share the man and woman share when we have a date.
So you're saying
What? What the fuck was that?
Share the man and woman share when we have a date.
So you're saying in Vietnam he pays and in America they split? Like they share, they split the money.
Yeah. In the American, you share the money.
Okay.
Yeah, you know.
Do you like that? Which is better, Vietnam or in America?
I think it's American is better. Yeah,
Better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because the woman have a work and the man have a work too. We share is for fair. Yeah.
In over there.
Why do Vietnamese people just add a bunch of G's where there were no G's?
Have a work too. We share is for
the man and the woman.
Fair. Yeah.
In over there in Italy, it's more like for the family and for the husband, like cook, clean, and all this stuff. Here it's more like, oh, you're a man, you can do it, or like, why have to do it for you when I work? Yeah, but I work too, you know. So if I work and I don't want to do it, and you work and I'm gonna do it, like, who's gonna clean the house? Who's gonna cook?
Women are definitely equipped with a lot more traditional skills, i.e. cooking, cleaning, and a con, I would say, is they're just as sometimes very...
There's no con.
Assertive or outgoing as some of the males are. And...
Wait, in foreign countries?
Yeah, feminism is kind of creeping its way in, just little by little.
What do you think the reason that men are not like satisfied with the women in this country and they're looking elsewhere outside?
Men aren't satisfied with the women in this country? Where are you getting this off of?
I wish the chat was working so I can get a one spam with every single dude that wants to stay away with the 6-foot pole from ever touching this woman. Men are dissatisfied with feminist women. What do you mean? They're completely delusional if they think that we want to be with them.
Well, Passport Bros and 90 Day Fiance. I mean, obviously there's a movement about that.
That is the outlier.
Then why are you single? If we are happy with the women like you. Oh, the chat is working again. Okay, thank you. The chat was frozen for a while. Look at all the ones. Female, woman, queen. You watch this content. I've seen you, the last video, you've been on Fresh and Fit, stuff like, look, you watch content. It's absolutely mind-boggling. And look at all the ones right now that you've been on all these shows, you've been on all these red pill shows, and you still are so clueless to the fact that you are hitting the wall And men don't want to be with you. The lack of accountability, the lack of realization of your surroundings, the lack of awareness is incredible. How do you not get it? What are you wearing? You look like Ellen. Why would anyone want to marry you? You look like Timothy Chalamet. You look like a talk show host, but you don't have a show. What are you doing? You don't want to be single. What are you doing to find a relationship? No one cares about your opinions. What are you doing? Look, you're in therapy for sure. You say shit like men are trash for sure. And it's just never going to get through to these women. This is the realization. And actually, I'm starting to get the point that the red pill and this stuff like that, a lot of it is just generally for men. Like you could have pearly things and stuff like that, but women will they won't get it. They won't get it. They don't want to understand. Ego is so strong. You'd be doing yourself a disservice smashing. Bro, she's built like Timothy. She's built like a soy boy. You're dressed like Jimmy Fallon. Look.
Then 90 Day Fiancé. I mean, obviously, there's a movement about that.
That is the outlier. That is the exception to the rule. I don't think the majority of men are not happy with women in this country.
Then why are you single?
Does a woman's behavior play any role in how she's treated by men?
Yes. Yes. Huge role, actually. How you carry yourself and how you behave towards yourself and how you treat others is a very good indicator of how people treat you and how you actually expect to be treated. So, yeah.
So why are people so quick to blame the man when things go wrong in a relationship?
Because it's still their fault.
I make no sense, and it's funny because I'm still gonna get attention for making no sense. I don't realize how I'm perpetuating unhappiness, and I'm just living off of my ego.
Why is that?
She doesn't even know level 2 to this question. She just says it because it makes her feel good.
Well, because I'm a woman and I know best.
Stupid! Stupid! It is what it is, man. This is what I'm saying. Get money and get out. There's no point in just red pill raging nonstop or expecting these women to change or trying to change them. She's got the bangs. It's just, she wants to be a queen. Is it really worth the headache of trying to turn a girl boss into a wife? No. Get money and get a wife out. I don't know, man. But these women are not it. We don't hate them. You just don't want to be with them, bro.
That's because men are always willing and ready to take the responsibility even when things are going to shit.
And these women are clearly not, man. It's clown world behavior. Ryan says you'd still smash though. Absolutely not, man. I only want to have sex with women that I would possibly have children with now.
I myself have taken blame for things that I haven't necessarily been responsible for. So it's just a thing that men are innately going to shoulder the burden and the responsibility, even if it's not ours to bear.
Do you believe it's a man's duty to respect a woman regardless of how she treats him in return?
No. Respect begets respect. You being disrespectful, of course, there's a line that men try to not cross. But that's a situation where you just need to exit the situation and leave.
Bro, it's not even just lines like you could cross. Men in the West, if you step in the gym, you're going to end up on a canceled TikTok. You're going to be labeled a creep by a bunch of girls who are twerking in your face, doing squat twerks, and you're just walking by looking for the water fountain. Boom, you're on TMZ, you're on TikTok. It's over. You lost your job, your family's crying, your dog left you, everyone left you because you ended up on it. You just looked in the wrong direction. You don't even know what TikTok is. You're 70 years old and you just end up on some fucking OnlyFans girls. Oh my God, this creep is in my area. It's not even what you say. It's just existing as a man in the West. You're gonna get canceled. Unbelievable, bro.
Leave right away.
Does a woman's behavior play any role in how she's treated by men?
Yes. Yeah.
So why are people so quick to blame the man when things go wrong in a relationship?
Because the men are supposed to be the breadwinners. It's easy to blame them.
Yeah, we're the breadwinners and you're the bread eaters. You weigh 250 pounds and I'm still supposed to do everything right. Everything needs to be right as a man in order to get attraction. In order to get a woman, you need to have everything down. Confidence, money, status, humor, everything's, you gotta be in shape, on point, or else you get ridiculed. Woman, she'll say this and be the bread eater. You can't even get your weight in check and you're gonna make demands?
because women don't like accountability. Women don't like being wrong, and nobody holds women accountable. They enable women, so it's easier to blame the man. Like,
she's making sense that she has a face tat. She looks like Pop Smoke, and she's the only woman in this video who's made a modicum of sense.
Always.
It's not always the guy's fault, but people are quick to judge the guy faster than they are the girl. So
why is that?
Because women don't need to be held accountable. You don't need to make any sense.
I don't know. People just perceive men bad.
They do.
And I don't agree with it, but that's just how guys are perceived. So
there are good men out there. You just gotta
find them, pick through them.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Who is more likely to be expected to settle for a partner that doesn't treat them right, men or women?
Wow. That one's tricky, but I do want to say men. Men 9 times out of 10 they date and marry down, so they're going to be the ones that are going to be more than likely unsatisfied.
Maybe it's not the majority of men, but it's starting to become a movement.
And she's just rejecting the truth. You ready for her to disagree and go and justify the fact that she's 30 and single and that men are the bad people for not wanting to be with her?
Well, fuck you. Go away.
Fuck you, go away. Okay, all right. We will. Like, bro, I don't.
Go find your women wherever you want. If you're not satisfied, I don't know what to tell you. If you want a woman who barely even speaks English and just has to suck your dick, go for it.
No one wants to talk to you. You think after a long day of working hard, I'm maybe like, oh man, honey, I'm home. Ready to hear all of my opinions in my Ellen suit? I have all these thoughts. Yeah, I have things in my head. Shut up. Shut you! Look at the quirky little jacket I bought. It has license plates on it. I want to be taken on an adventure. Bro, I would much rather have a girl that doesn't speak a word of English than deal with Timothy Chalamet.
Allahu Akbar!
That's...
Well, I'm just asking on behalf of those men, I suppose, so. If you're...
Why did you put the camera down? You should have kept going.
Suck your dick, go for it. That's...
Chat, type of one if you would rather have Ching Ling from Vietnam, who doesn't speak a word of English, come home, hug you, and suck your dick and cook a meal, than have to deal with this talk show looking stand-up comedian from the 80s, hit the wall feminist. 1 for Ling Ling, who doesn't speak a word of English, or 2 for the Matrix attacking my camera over and over again. Let me fix this shit, bro. I'm tight. Okay, what's your name, feminist? Do you see all the ones in the chat? Rumble's getting DDoS right now. I even see women in the chat typing 1. And we're still saying we would rather, bro, just, if she was mute, I would rather get a fat woman from Africa. Who looks burnt. Fat as shit. Than deal with this feminist. If she was able to cook clean and just be the peace at the end of the day. Than have to deal with you. Because being with you, you look like Jerry Seinfeld, but also it's just going to fail. You and everything you believe in it's setting yourself up for a failed relationship. Everything you believe. You've been brainwashed. It's over. You're not going to change. You're too egotistical. It's men's fault. You are going to get cats. I've seen this time and time again. You are going to cut off all your hair, become Eliza Blue, and then call men human traffickers because they want to date a young, attractive female. You're going to turn into that. You're going to start putting on a strap-on and fucking other women out of spite because you can't find a good man. That's your existence. You look just like Eliza Blue. You just look like the blueprint feminist you're gonna hate men. But just know this, because you're gonna watch this. It's not our fault that you're not marriage material. It's your fault. It's the decisions that you've made. It's the content that you consume. It's your lack of accountability.
Well, I'm just asking on behalf of those men, I suppose, so. If your average man is treated better by women overseas, why do men prefer to stay here and play the game when the odds are so heavily stacked against them?
Well, I think it's because it's what they know, and the thing that...
Because we got hope, man. We got hope. And back in his day, the women there were still a couple. But even then, you remember that song, American Woman, Get away from me, American woman. Don't come near me, American woman. Stay the fuck away. Back then, that was his generation. Look at that. Bravo tickets to tours. This guy was fucking back in the 70s. It's changed, OG. It's changed. Everyone watching this chat, bro, it's not worth converting a feminist. It's not worth it. Get you a Ling Ling. Get you the Wakanda woman. Ooba, ooh. Get the spear thrower. It's going to be better. I'd rather be with the dog and have Ling Ling who sucks my dick and doesn't speak English than deal with the feminist. Everyone in this chat, bro, it's just the reality.
The United States has going for it is that the money's all here. So we all have to make a living and support ourselves and our lifestyles. So that's the reason, because you end up missing our culture we grew up in when you live in another country. But I'll tell you what, it's such a different feeling when you're in another country, how great you get treated as a man.
Look at his face. Look at the smile on his face. Look at that. When do you see men his age like that much hope in life? Yeah, that's the face of Ling Ling. That's the ooga booga spear throwing head. That's what that face is.
Essentially, why should
he's so memorize this face whenever you go and shit on passport bros for not wanting to be with American women. Look.
When you're in another country, how great you get treated as a man.
Essentially, why should men spend so much time grooming themselves to please the toxic?
But this fucking dude got the cross like dangly ear. I don't know about this, bro. This L drip.
Women here.
They take what they can get because they have to. That's how society has played them into, doing that. Good men aren't appreciated.
So I feel as though there's some men who do groom themselves for women because men want to provide and protect and all that good stuff. But I do feel like it's part of their thing that they want to do for themselves. I don't think men should do that. That's just my personal opinion. Groom yourself for you. Love yourself for you, not for other women, especially in today's generation where women are showing they don't care about men and they don't give a shit about them. Yeah.
Why are you more likely to see female empowerment in first world countries?
Wow, great question there. Well, it's our culture. It's passed down from woman to woman, depending on where you're raised. That's why the family unit is so important, man and woman raised in the family, because it gives you the correct outlook on life.
And lastly, if there was one thing you wish men understood...
This is a converted Ling Ling, by the way. She's been Americanized. Doesn't count. Burger Ling.
...better about women, what would it be?
Understood?
Yeah.
I think the man cannot understood woman.
Why not?
I think man the woman. Sorry, come on, man.
The woman.
The woman? What the fuck? Vietnamese, just stop putting G's and everything. Your last name is Nguyen. None of your words make any sense. Pho is like pho. It's just...
They always... think another one and say another one.
What? Why did you... It's like, bro, this is the caricature of what Americans think Asian people sound like.
Think another one and say another one.
Oh, bro, come on, man, Chopstick Chade in the chat.
So why do we have the expression where
W. Guniko, fuck you.
Where have all the good men gone, but nobody's asking where have all the good women gone?
Ooh, that's
where did all the good goomen go? Where are the good gan?
That's a good one. That's a good one. I feel like there still is good men out here. I'm not saying...
What are you saying?
That's a good one. I feel like there still is good men out here. I'm not saying...
Fuck right in the pussy.
I'm not saying there's no good women out here, but I feel like all the feminists and the women that are like bad are shouting from the rooftops, and there's not enough women, that care about men that have a big voice about it.
Are women the problem, or are the people influencing women the problem?
The people influencing are the problem. These women are easily brainwashed because if you are not the patriarchal authoritarian figure in a relationship, if they don't have a good father figure, then what ends up happening is the government becomes that level of masculine influence. And if you think that the government cares about us, you're wrong. They don't. They want ultimate control, and they do that by brainwashing us with feminism, with gender ideology, with LGBTQ. That's how they do it with soy boys. You can't blame the women for making no sense. And this is why I hate when people, headphones off, I'm about to say some real shit. I hate when people, I don't hate because we love everything. They label this incel content because we're trying to graduate past that. It starts with the rage and then you just get better. It's not the female's fault. You cannot be fucking Elliot Rodgers. Women, it's not their fault, dummy. Stupid. It's the government's fault. It's the Matrix fault. They have pushed this idea. It's big tech. It's everything. It's big pharma for pushing antidepressants for people to make no sense, telling us, people send me DMs all the time, showing posters in their school saying that don't push the idea that men shouldn't cry. Men should cry. Men, they suppress their mental health too much. No, men are supposed to be strong. And if you aren't strong, then somebody is going to take that authoritarian masculine figure in the life of a woman. You need to be that. If you are not that, they will take control. So you can't blame them for that. We need to take responsibility and become the best men that we could possibly be. Not stay on this incel garbage, bro. No, don't label us like that. I'm getting thanked, bro. This pissed me off. Here's my wife. When we got married, she was a virgin, 0 body count. She studied English literature and has 1 million followers from online business. Good for you, bro. Bro, I'm gets posting his wife. I don't want to go see your wife, bro. Keep your wife protected from the social media. It's crazy out here. But and this is also my problem with a lot of the red pill content creators. And I'm not gonna call out itsComplicated, but he's starting to get interested in what's really going on just by asking this question: who's really at fault? Who's at fault? These are the questions that lead you down the rabbit hole. Who's at fault for pushing feminism, for masculinizing these women, and for feminizing the men? Because feminism is debunked. It's over. It's stupid. We get it. You can make a million videos, you can make a whole channel about it, or we can actually try to figure it out. But Daily Wire, they'll stick to simple subjects like trans people, like gender ideology, gender fluidity. Matt Walsh, like, well, as a traditional conservative, well, but I'm not going to talk about who really does it. Jordan Peterson is like, well, actually, the psychologists and the tautologists and Iran actually is it really misogynist? Who's really causing all this? Who? Name them. Say it. Who? Go down the rabbit hole. Take that risk. A lot of great interviews in the works coming next week. They're telling the freaking frog's gay. We're going to go challenge it. And I've always attained the idea that if you really want to figure out who's in control of everything, look at the one group that you're not allowed to criticize.
It's all the influences on women, actually, since when they're little girls. Me raising 2 girls now that are teens as a widower, you see it. I see what they're bombarded with on a daily basis. It's definitely our culture.
Wow, 100% the people influencing the women are the problem.
There we go. At least they both know.
Naturally, I think women know what's right, and they know kind of
in the back of their heads they do
where to fall into place. Women know they're weaker physically, sometimes even mentally. They know sometimes they really depend on men, but because of the messaging and the marketing that's so powerful, it's going to be hard to get away from that brainwashing.
It's not really fair because, we're persecuted for every decision we make, but women are allowed to act trashy and disrespect themselves and disrespect men, but no one wants to stand up and say, hey, enough is enough.
Why do so many men think foreign women are the answer if many of those women will use men for citizenship?
Because they can get about 5 levels of a higher of a partner than they could here in the United States, and that's the trade-off.
I think men innately know that there's always a trade-off. There's always something that they're willing to give up and that they're willing to sacrifice to find love. You going to another country.
Look at this idiot in the chat. Killer 1911 says, I hate women and they disgust me. Am I not allowed to watch the stream? Being an asexual incel is just my preference. First off, idiot, you're not an asexual incel. You just can't get laid. You're not asexual.